What's good, YouTube? Nova here, and I'm bringing you guys my Constellar deck. Alright, so let's just dive right into it. Alright, so starting off, I'm playing 3 copies of Constellar Chaos. Now, if you guys don't know what Chaos does, once per turn, you can increase the level of a monster or decrease the level of a monster. But you can do this effect 2 times per turn. I messed that up. But it's good because you can reduce 2 guys' levels, make them both 3s, or increase their levels and make them both 5s. So he helps to go into rank 4s, rank 3, 4, and 5. So very helpful. I'm playing 3 Constellar Pollux. Pollux basically is, your normal summon. When he's normal summoned, you get to normal summon another Constellar monster. So very helpful. I'm playing 2 Algeti. Algeti's effect is basically, he's like the same thing as Pollux, except for he special summons a monster instead of normal summoning. So it's okay because he special summons that level 4 Constellar, but he's just an extra summon. And then I'm playing 2 Sombre. Sombre is basically banish 1 Constellar from grave, add one from grave to hand, and then you get an additional summon in that turn. So really good. He helps with late game or mid game when you have had a Pollux Chaos set up. When you've gone Pollux Chaos, he helps you for making easier rank exceed summons. And then I'm playing a kind of a different engine with this deck. I'm playing the Star Seraphs. So I've got 3 Star Seraph Scepter. The reason I like the Star Seraphs in this deck is because they give this deck a lot of draw power, and they help build this deck, because this deck lacks in hand presence. So the Star Seraphs, once you've gotten one of them off, you're pretty well going to be set up for the game, right? You know, you make a move, and then you gotta, if you go with the Constellar Chaos and you go and play around with them for a while, and then you go into the Scepter engine, you just go off really easy. I'm playing 3 Sovereignty in this deck as well. Mainly because you have to if you're playing 3 of the Scepters. But he's really good because he lets you special summon him when you normal summon your Scepter, and then you get to draw a card. And if it's another Star Seraph monster, you get to go off more. Sticking with more hand draws, I'm playing 2 Max C's. This card helps with shutting down the opponent when they're going to go off, but also it helps give this deck a few extra draws. So even if you drop discard this card, you get 1 draw and your opponent stops, you've just stopped their play. But also, if your opponent goes off and thinks they got you, and you drop this card, and they go off like, I don't know, you get 3, 4 more draws, you're pretty well good to go for the next few turns. I'm also playing 1 copy of Bear, just because I got the tankies, and I was like, you know what, another search option. Plus, he's good search removal, so you can instantly remove anything that's in your way. And then I'm playing 1 copy of Honest, just because you play a lot of lights, and the option just to hold him, even if you have to just normal summon one of your Constellars or Star Seraph monsters and drop Honest, you're good. So that's it for monsters. It's about 20 monsters. So a very big monster lineup, but you know the deck has to run monsters because the deck's focused on monsters. For the searchers, I'm playing 3 copies of Tenki. You have 4 targets in the form of 3 Chaos and 1 Bear. Bear can search this card, so if you're trying to find Chaos, it really helps with that. I'm playing 1 Rhoda because Rhoda's now down at 1. Your only target, 3 targets for this is Pollux, but this kind of just helps you get to them a little bit faster. I'm playing 1 copy of Soul Charge, just for the ability to bring back the Star Seraphs, but also because it helps with just paying 1,000 for Sombre and you get to go. I'm playing 1 Raigeki, just because nuking your opponent's board is really good. I'm also playing 1 Dark Hole just because I have the open space, and it really helps because sometimes, sometimes with this deck you won't have that presence you want, so you just drop Dark Hole, and it's kind of like playing 2 Raigekis, but Raigeki you can be more aggressive with Raigeki, whereas Dark Hole you have to hold it a little bit more. I'm playing 1 copy of Book of Moon, just to give a versatile out and just a way to stop your opponent when they're going off. And then I'm main decking 3 MSTs just because I have the room for 3. But with pendulums like DDDs and Odd Eyes going to start coming into the meta a little bit more, I think that 3 is going to be more mained. Alright, that's it for traps. That's it for spells, I mean, not traps. Alright, moving into traps, I'm playing 1 copy of Solemn Warning. Kind of generic. I'm playing the big 4. And I'm playing 1 copy of Bottomless Trap Hole. Similar enough, just, you know, outs to stuff. I'm playing 1 Torrential Tribute, just to get around multiple summons from Pendulum monsters. And I'm playing 1 Grand Horn of Heaven. You'll notice that I took Impulse out from the big 4. Mainly because, you know, it's a little bit better because it helps with stopping pendulum summons. All 4 of these cards help with stopping pendulum summons, so very good, useful for that once that starts to come out. I'm playing 2 Deep Prison, just because I wanted the ability to, when my opponent attacks, just to be able to stop that attack and get around it. And then because I'm playing the Star Seraph engines and pretty well rank 4 build, I'm playing 3 copies of Call of the Haunted just to be able to get those plays off. So that's it for main deck. Moving into extra, I'm playing 1 copy of Constellar Omega. Omega basically, it's 2 level 4 light monsters. Very easy in this deck, but also he gets the effect. His effect is during either player's turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material. All other Constellar monsters on the field are unaffected by spells and traps. So very nice because he stops anytime your opponent's going to play a Mirror Force, a Deep Prison, he protects. I'm playing 1 Starleech Paladynamo. Basically 2 level 4 light monsters. Detach 2 Xyz materials, target 1 monster, drop its attack to 0, and negate its effects. These effects are permanent. They do not come back. And also when he's destroyed by your opponent, either by battle or by card effect, you get a draw card. So he helps with this deck's lack of problem, where it has a problem with its hand presence. This card helps a little bit. I'm playing 2 copies now of 101 Silent on our Arc. The reason we're playing I'm playing 2 copies now is because Exciton Knight has now been banned. So we kind of have to play the 2 copies. You could have played, if you want, 2 copies of Castell and 101, but I like the 2 Silent on our Arc because you get to, he's a little bit more, he can protect himself with his effects, but also he gets to absorb an opponent's monster. Now moving in, we got Castell. Basically, detach 1 Xyz material, and you can either return 1 card to the hand, or detach 2 and return 1 card to the deck. So that's not too bad. I'm playing Cowboy for a little bit of burn. I'm playing Abyss Dweller just to kind of stop the grave for decks that use the graveyard. He's a good option just to have. And then for the Star Seraphs, since they need 3 to be used, 3 overlay materials, I'm playing 1 Evil Swarm Ouroboros. He's got 3 different effects, and you can only play 1 of each of the effects while he's on the field. So his first effect, you can target 1 card in your opponent's hand and discard it. You can target 1 card on your opponent's field, return it to the hand, and then target 1 card in the grave and banish it. So he's got 3 really good effects. So he's pretty useful, and he's got a 2750, so he can get over a few things. I think he's 50 points stronger than Big Eye, so that's not too bad. I'm also playing 1 number 32 Shark Drake. Shark Drake allows for good damage, because if you're attacking a monster that's 18,000 or less, you're dealing 3,000 damage. And the last card I'm playing 1 Stellar Knight Deltaros. Deltaros basically, when he's summoned, anytime you'd summon, your opponent can't negate the summon, so that's really good. And then also you can detach 1 Xyz material to pop 1 card. He has another effect that when he dies, he lets you special on 1 Tellarknight monster. You get special on 1 Tellarknight monster from your hand or deck, but in this deck, it doesn't really matter because I don't play any. But and then I'm playing 1 Satellar Knight Constellar Diamond, just to be able to put over top of Deltaros to stop those dark monsters. Plus, when he has Xyz materials, cards that would be added from the grave to the hand are banished instead. So that's not too bad. He gives you, against a deck that returns stuff from grave to hand, he's a very useful card. He gets in the way of Sombre though. If you have to use Sombre and you already have one on the field, he does get in the way of that. But usually by that time, when you make him, you should probably lock out your opponent anyway. I'm playing one number 14. He's really just for an option. Basically, his main effect is like, if you're down to low life points and your opponent's going to try to game you with burn, you bring him out, and your opponent would take any burn that you would have. So if you're playing a burn deck and you make this guy first turn, you basically win because they will cry. I'm playing one Volcasaurus for the burn, just because you get the ability to, he's 2 level 5 level 5 monsters. Detach one, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and then inflict damage to them. But he can't attack the opponent directly. But he can still attack another monster if there is one. So keep that in mind. And then finishing off, I'm playing 2 copies of Constellar Pallades. Pallades is 2 level 5 light monsters, so cows, and any other Constellar monster. Basically, once per turn during either player's turn, you can target one. You can detach one XYZ material from this card, then target one card on the field and return it to the hand. So it's really good with returning stuff. Also, when your opponent's Exceed summons, Synchro summons, Fusion summons, anytime, you can if you have your own Call the Haunted, you can bounce, and it's dead, you can bounce it back, which is pretty nice. So, but Pallades has very good interaction with bouncing back your opponent's cards, or even your own cards. Like, you can reuse Tankies, which are pretty nice. You can bounce those Tankies back, so that's pretty cool. It's really nice. It helps. So it's pretty good. But that's it for my deck profile, guys. I hope you like it, and I'll see you next time.